Yo Gem fam, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Dropping Gems FX. You already know my main goal is to lace you guys up with advice and tips on how to take your Forex trading journey to the next level and to bring you guys along my Forex trading journey as well. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the specific strategies that I use in order to pass the first step of getting FTMO funded, the challenge phase, which is making 10% of an $100,000 account within 30 days. I'm actually only going to focus on the specific trades that netted me a higher amount of percentage because I took 77 trades. So we're not going to go over all 77 trades, but we're going to go over, I believe, 4 or 5 specific trades that got me to my 10% mark. So if you find this video valuable, if you find this at all beneficial, please leave a like, subscribe down below, comment too, let me know your questions, let me know what you want me to do videos on in the future. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get it rolling. Alright guys, so like I mentioned in my intro, I want to take you guys through the specific trades that got me to my 10% mark. But first I want to talk about the strategy that I used in order to take advantage of those trades when the time came along. I used a hybrid of a trend reversal strategy in combination with a breakout and retest strategy, which probably sounds a lot more complicated than it really is. Essentially, what I did on GBP and gold is try to determine the overall trend of the pair. In GBP USD, for example, price was at the top of a bullish ascending channel. So I kind of saw that earlier in the week and I was just waiting for price to reverse. We took some L's trying to get into that reversal too early when price was continuing to push up. But eventually price did exhaust and we got in for some nice profits on the downside. And then for gold, I kind of did the reverse. So we had that huge sell-off, I think Sunday night on the 8th, I believe. 8th or Monday morning, we had a huge sell-off. And then we kind of had this retracement and then another sell-off, which made a double bottom, which is a reversal sign that I like to trade. And then, as I mentioned before, I use the breakout and retest strategy in conjunction with the reversal strategy. So I just waited for patterns to form, whether it be Forex chart patterns or candlestick patterns. I waited for the breakout and the retest and got in there. And then my take profit was, for the most part, open. But I did take partial profits on, I believe, 10 to 15 of these trades out of the 77, just because I found it to be psychologically a little bit more helpful to, you know, take some money off the table when I was in the middle of a reversal or whatever the case may be, right? So now that we got that out the way, let's look at the screen and talk about the specific trades that I am alluding to, and yeah, let's take it from there. Alright guys, so what you're looking at right now is going to be my trading log for the weeks that I was involved with the challenge portion of the FTMO evaluation phase. I want to give your attention, or bring your attention over here to the small box where I have basically split up the percentage gain that I got from gold and GBP USD, and there was a certain position that got me that gain, right? So we can see on gold, buying got me a little less than 3%, selling got me a little more than 4.5%, GBP USD selling that got me 5.22%, and then GBP USD, we took a small L trying to buy it when it was turning around for that sell that I was waiting for. So let's just hop right into the charts and let's see, you know, what happens. See if we can't explain this to you guys. So let me replay this up to this portion. Okay. So essentially what we had, right, is this sell-off that Monday morning, Sunday evening, right? This huge sell-off. And we already know from the higher time frames that the overall direction of the trend was bearish. Why? Because we had this descending triangle happen. It broke out, came back retest, came back down, boom. Now we had this retest of the structure up here, could not go above that, so price just melted once more. So the overall direction is going to be bearish. Keep that in mind, right? So we had this one touch here, this reversal candlestick pattern. And then if I just played a little bit more, we had another sell-off here, right? We had another sell-off to the point where price created a double bottom. Now this was perfect for me because this signaled the reversal. All I had to do was identify where price was going to reverse to and then potentially sell again. So what I did was just took out my fib from the high to the low, right? Highlight this area as the potential sell zone, the golden zone, right? So in my head, if price were to sustain this level at this moment, price would eventually climb up here before selling off again. Now I did something else, right? I looked in the past and looked for valid structure where price might have to get past before getting to that golden zone. Now obviously we have this structure right here because price was consolidating, essentially making a floor at each touch before breaking through that floor. So obviously price would need to break through the ceiling first before getting to the next zone. Now the next zone is going to be here because we had a bunch of tests. So price created structure at this point, you know, and this is what we want to be aware of, right? So this is potential resistance, and obviously this line is potential resistance as well. So we're gonna, you know, make sure we highlight all of that and we're aware of that as price gets up to that level. But as you can see, we're at the double bottom and we have enough potential. And this is how I came across it. So I said I have enough potential to basically get my 10% or get to the 10% mark within this small trade, let alone this one, right? Not to mention the golden zone, right? So this is a lot of pips that can be caught. And I just got ready for the patterns, right? So once I saw this reversal, right, a window to just catch some pips, I then went down and looked at the candlesticks. What is it telling me? Okay, we have a hanging man right here. I'm sorry. We have a hammer right here. Hammer comes after a sell-off, right? Hammer, reversal. Then we had that retest of the structure that the hammer put out, right? So the wick is essentially like a support. So we had that retest of the support. The price could not get down there. This is where I put in my first trades, right? Boom. We can zoom in on the 15-minute time frame. So this took mostly all day to play out. Price was just, you know, playing around this area, and when I came back towards the end of the day, I saw that price was making this triangle. Boom. It broke out, retested, and now we're in profits. Now, what I did, which was a little bit too early, was I moved my stop loss up because price then quickly came back down and took me out of this trade for a small percentage gain, and then went to my TP. My initial TP was these highs above here, completely smashed that. So I had to look for another entry, another valid entry, and I did, right? So boom, we had this ceiling, right? The structure right here that price just couldn't get past, just because there was structure in the past, right? So eventually price broke out, and I said I was going to do the breakout and retest strategy. So all I did was I took another fib. When we're talking about breakout and retest, we need to bring the Fibonacci retracement tool out, right? So boom, highlighted this is my golden zone around here, right? And then all I did was wait until price got into that zone. I think I set some buy limits, boom, got triggered in. and then price was dancing once again around this zone, making a triangle pattern. Now it broke out of the triangle pattern, so I waited for a clear retest because I learned from my mistake here, right? A clear retest, which was this, and then price decided to come and retest 2 times, so it took me out in profit though, so we cannot be mad about that. And then it went to our overall TP. So yeah, I would have caught the entire challenge twice now. But then I left gold alone to do its thing because obviously it came up to the sell zone, or the second threshold, which I would could see a sell from. And then it started selling off, so then boom. Now at this point in time, a little bit before here, I had saw, just before I was going to sleep, I had saw this head and shoulders pattern happening, right? And I'll just put that right there so it's clear. That's the neckline. We got another one here. This is the left shoulder. Obviously the head. And the right shoulder, which is where I got in, right? So not only was price at this sell zone, right, but it made a lower high. So I got in here, up here somewhere. My stop loss was just above some wicks over here, and my TP was the previous structure, because in my head I said, okay, price is going to come over here and retest this breakout of this larger triangle. Right, I'm not sure if you can see that, if it's at all, visible. But if we drew a trend line through there, you can see that price just played in here, making a triangle before breaking out, okay? So that's what I saw. That's why my TP was there, and essentially price came down, plummeted, and went way past my TP, which took me out of the market, a little bit before, because if gold moves so fast sometimes with these impulsive moves. If you have a TP set, the servers obviously will lag, and you'll get a little bit more than you wanted. So all in all, this is what took me to the 10% mark. Now let's move over to Gbp Usd. Let's move over to Gbp Usd and see how this played out, right? So if you remember, I told you that earlier in the video, let me see this. Earlier in the video, I told you that I noticed that price was in this ascending bullish channel, right? So we had a high, a low, higher high, higher low, boom. So the next question up here was, is this going to be a higher high? Now, at this point in time, on that Sunday, price was at this level, so I thought there was going to be a sell-off here, a double top, but essentially, this is where I took some of my losses, where most of my losses were here, because I was trying to sell from this zone, got wrapped up, hit stop loss again, hit stop loss twice. I tried to sell a couple more times that it just wasn't happening. So I left price be for a while, and then so it just wasn't happening, and I let price be for a while before it came to this area, the very top of the trend line, wicked out and gave me this candle. Now the next candlestick was crucial, because if the next candlestick broke this, then it was going to be the sign of the sell for me, right? So what I did was just wait, boom, it broke. And then here, inside here, price made a bearish flag, which I took advantage of, right? So as soon as it broke the flag, I got in. We all know break and retest, but if you get in the first time at the retest, then it's the same situation. You're just not waiting for it. So price broke, came back, retested. I got in for a second time, so twin trade, and came in again, boom. Then price came to this area, which was the last structure in the past. So resistance now turned support, and then just filled out this bearish flag again. So I just waited for this to fill out throughout the day, and then took another trade right before London session. I think I took another 2 trades, and then boom, sold off. Beautiful, beautiful trade, hit TP. And at this moment, I kind of, it took a little bit more. Boom, hit TP. At this moment, I kind of took a step back and tried to evaluate whether or not price was going to continue to sell off and create that higher low, or you know, basically what it was going to do. And I saw that this was essentially a W pattern. Now a W pattern looks like this, right? It looks like a double bottom, right? But essentially price comes back down to retest that middle structure before continuing. And I'll just outline where this is right now. So that's one leg, it's the middle of the W, and boom. So price was at the point of retesting that structure, right? So my initial bias was to sell off, right? Sell off to create that that higher low. But when I saw this, I was kind of indecisive, and I said price could very well come back here, maybe create a head and shoulders pattern again before selling off. So what I did was I just waited for price to do its thing. I let Gbp Usd play out for a couple of hours. And essentially when I saw this break above this previous support, boom, I knew that it was going to buy. The next Sunday that market opened, I got in as soon as market opened for a buy, and then it took me straight to my 10% mark. Beautiful trade. Couldn't have asked for anything more. And that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it valuable. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with your fellow trader, because you never know who you might help.